everybody. I'm Jesse, and welcome to another edition of Gen X Thinks. Today we're going to talk about why the 70s were such an awesome time to grow up in as a kid. I've got 4 reasons why I believe that was the best decade to grow up as a little kid, and I'll jump right into it. Number 4 was freedom, and I mean physical freedom. Like we weren't constrained to staying in the house, not only by parents but by friends online, because now kids feel like they need to be inside on a computer or on the game console or whatever to stay connected with their friends. But back then, our friends were outside, so to stay connected, you needed to be outside. With that came a lot of freedom. All you had to do was be home by dark a lot of times, depending on who your parents were and how they felt about it. But as long as you were home by the time the street lights came on, and like we had to stay within yelling distance of our house, so if our mom wanted us, she could just step out on the front porch and yell our name. A lot of us didn't obey that rule strictly, though. We traveled a little further. We had a lot of physical freedom. We could run around. We didn't have to worry about too much about predators. I mean, we all knew about not to get in a van, but I never even really saw anything like that happen to any of my little friend group or anything. So no, we didn't have to worry about that so much back then. Number 3, freedom from influences in school. Back then we learned reading and writing and arithmetic. That was pretty much it. Our parents knew what we were getting taught in school. They knew what was going on. We didn't have to worry about being taught something that our parents might not agree with. Everybody agrees with 2 + 2 = 4. It's simple. Things were simpler back then. And our parents just didn't have to worry, and they weren't all this other stuff being taught to us that we shouldn't be exposed to at that age, which from what I'm hearing and I'm seeing online, some of that stuff is going on nowadays. I feel bad for children being subjected to a lot of things that I hear about in schools, and it reminds me of that simpler time in the 70s in grade school when we just went and learned math and reading and cursive writing and stuff. It was just simple. The work was tough. It wasn't for some of us it was easy, but it wasn't insanely hard. It wasn't confusing. It wasn't this or that. It was school, and you knew it. Now you don't know what you're getting when you send your kid to school. So I think that's a big thing that makes the 70s so awesome, is the schools didn't mess around with all this weird political agendas and stuff with the little kids like they do now. Number 2, there wasn't any internet. And you might say, oh, the world would be horrible without internet. Or no. Internet has not made the world a better place. It's made the world more convenient. It's made some things easier. It has not made the world a better place. It just hasn't. We had to be a little more self-sufficient back then. It was more difficult to do things. I'm always looking up videos on YouTube trying to figure out how to fix something, a washing machine or whatever, and so that stuff is convenient, but that doesn't make the world a better place, because people use the internet for bad just as much as they use it for good. And there are so many lies and so much deceit and fraudulence on the internet, especially now we're coming into the age of the AI. You just don't know what to believe and what's true, what's false, what's made up. Even images, you don't know did an artist do that, or is this just some crap that an AI kicked out? And you can't tell anymore. And that confusion can be frightening, and that confusion is just, it's not a good thing. Not a good thing at all. So if we could have had the internet without all of that other crap, then that'd be great. But back in the 70s, we didn't have all that crap. We didn't have to worry about being influenced by somebody on TikTok or any of that stuff as little kids. We didn't have to worry about that stuff. It was just less to worry about. If we could somehow take away all the negative aspects of the internet and just keep the good aspects, that would be great. back then you wanted to figure something out or do something you didn't know how to, you would have to go to a library, search through their books and magazines, and find out. So the convenience factor is really great, but all that other stuff going on, not to mention the porn, stuff like that, and there's a lot of stuff on there that kids shouldn't be able to have access to. They just shouldn't. They shouldn't be exposed to that stuff, but they are daily. So, but anyway, no internet. That's what made the 70s so awesome. That's one reason. And number one, everything was more fun. Kids nowadays have a lot of stuff aimed at them, but it's in the digital world. It's all digital and pixelated and stuff, whatever. We had real fun stuff you could hold. The Happy Meal boxes back then were awesome. They had all kinds of coloring. You could color on the box and do little puzzles and stuff on the box, and it usually came with a toy, just like cereal boxes were the same way. They had some kind of puzzle on the back usually, and or some kind of colorful kids thing on the back of it. You could punch out little people and put them together, and just all kinds of fun stuff that was targeted specifically at us, that businesses did, that were just, you know, really cool for a little kid like that. And kids don't have that nowadays. It's all digital. They'll get one of those QR codes or something to scan on their phone so they can do some digital stuff. But we had Toys R Us and all those kind of things that were specifically made for us. A really special time to grow up in. And I'll leave you there. If you have any comments, please comment down below. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I appreciate it. And if you'd like to support the channel by buying me a cup of coffee, I'll put the link down in the description. Thank you all for watching, and thanks to all my subscribers. I really appreciate you. As always, stay frosty, Gen X. I'll see you on the next one.